Sartorial Lounge with the Sartorial Don and the Godfather, aka Sekou McAdams and Matthew Pacone. Today, Matt and I just want to have conversation and cocktails and kind of run the 001 episode of the Sartorial Lounge with you guys. All right, so today, to start off, we're going to give you guys a sneak peek into what we're wearing to our June 1st fashion shows. So to begin, we're going to start with the boss man himself, doing this beautiful Super 150s in silk, double-faced fabric. Matt, tell me why you want to do this for the June 1st show.
Well, I think it's been tradition since you joined the crew in 2020. After COVID, when the fashion shows started getting back into session, it's been ritual that you surprised me with the outfit for the show.
True.
It's kind of worked out thus far, so, why break precedents?
I don't know. I really love it. I just saw this in you, and I know you don't like stripes that much, but I like seeing you in stripes.
Maybe just, like you said, do a vest and slack combo, a lapel on the vest, but you could surprise me with that as well. And go off the Don's lead.
I mean, what I know, it's going to be ridiculously detailed. The
Okay.
devil is going to be in the details with this piece.
Let's switch it up. Enough about me. We'll give one or two more sneak peeks.
Tyler.
Oh.
Tyler.
Tyler.
He's off camera right now, but I told him I'm showing what he's wearing.
Welcome back.
We picked out this beautiful double-faced woolen cashmere for him for the June 1st show. My goodness gracious. I don't know what we're doing yet with it, but we went to the idea of sky blue pants. We went to the idea of white pants, Tyler? Khaki pants.
White, that's right.
I mean, it's going to be ridiculously beautiful.
And that cream and putty, too, that you found in the other.
Yes. I'm going to be a little bit jealous. Just letting you know, be a little bit jealous. But, enough with you guys.
Uh-oh.
Let's talk about what the Don's wearing.
Yeah. Let's talk about what the real style boss is
My
wearing.
goodness, 100% pure cashmere, Glen plaid with a blue over window pane. Now, I didn't tell you what I was thinking about doing with this, but 3-piece with pink stitching. Pink stitching. Who else does it like me, man?
Yeah, you bring a new element to that combo king detail. Let's continue.
I don't know about shirt and tie, but I just know this fit. Nobody else can have this with me. I've settled it in stone. I want it.
You certainly earned it. So I guess I ain't gonna challenge you on that.
Right.
But we gotta keep the rest of the details of that 3-piece a secret. We gave them the stitching. That's all they
That's
get.
it.
That's it. Just
The rest comes in the pictures.
Okay, so let's switch it up.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, what got you into the Sartorial Lounge, the Sartorial passion into the business?
I mean, where do I start with that? I mean, if we go back, my grandfather was a international financier for Xerox. So, as a young man, all I saw was men in suits in business. So, when he passed in 05 or 06, excuse me, my grandmother, she kind of decided to keep the tradition going. So, one of our good old stores we used to love to go to, the Red Barn, she took me there. I got a black and a gray custom suit at 7 years old. Not many 7-year-olds are indoctrinated in that life so young, but I was fortunate enough to be. From there, it just became it's called a love for it, obsession, I want to say, because you know me now. I like wearing shirts and ties and pocket
An
squares.
obsession. You just gave the little tease you just showed. Obsession is an understatement for that passion. Go ahead.
So I guess when I got to about 12, I began to think about it more serious. Primarily because I was in that little section called the Husky section in stores, where there may have been 2 or 3 things, 1 or 2 pairs of pants there, no options. But then I learned about custom tailoring. I learned that you can take a tape measure, take 40 measurements, and come up with something beautiful. So
12. At 12.
we thought, why not? Kind of let it, I want to say, sit by the wayside until I was about 15, which that's when I met your dad. And
Much love, Pops.
Seeing what it was to actually be a true haberdasher with an elite passion, your father made it an easy choice to pick this as a career, but not that as a lifestyle. So I'd say when I got to, we're at 15, 16. At about 17, 18, it became time to think about what's next in life. Is college going to be an option? Are you going to jump right into the custom clothier detail? And it was a struggle, but going working at a few of the local suit shops, learning what it meant to fit a suit, learning what it meant to actually go to work every day and wear a suit and be that expert on what fitting a suit looks like, and then getting bored with that and wanting to go to the next level.
That's what made it so special, is because you wanted an expert when at that age, technically you got to do some of the maintenance work first, and
right.
It just was never the right level for you at a young age. That's when my dad had his eye on you, and then in 2020, when I actually met you in person, it only took one joint venture together to be hired on that same.
Wait.
I jumped the gun.
Wait, no. Before you even got there, because I was going to let you go, but wait, we forgot a crucial detail. And I hate to say it like this, I called Omeros last.
Yep, this is important.
I wanted to be in the custom clothing world so bad. I went to every avenue. I searched every custom clothier in town, and Matt and Omeros was the only one that was willing to give me the opportunity to prove myself. Not so much as I don't have the experience, we don't trust you, but okay, you have the passion, you have the look. Now let's see if you can put those two things together and actually be a part of the business.
So the exact dates, my dad gave you that opportunity of calling around when you were 15,
Mm-hmm.
and you remembered it. And he told me about you when I first became a small partner while my dad owned the business, way before I bought him out.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me up to you, and finally we were by law able to open up off of COVID. And I'm like, I'm going to need some help in the future.
Yeah.
And there's one person that one interview, 2 days later, you set up that first meeting that led into green suits, overcoat. That first client that you set up also brought somebody that did a suit and tie. So basically, on the way out, before I dropped you off at your driveway,
Yeah.
welcome aboard.
And to be honest, we don't even talk about it. You left because you had to go get 2 more cases from the back.
You were up there. I'm like, I'm taking orders from you now.
So
I'll get the cases.
not only was our relationship new, but our trust, we didn't trust each other because we didn't know what each other were. And you just, all right, you got it. And trusted me to be in an environment. I've never been in this environment before. I'd never sold high-end garments before. And being able to do such a thing.
That's what you just clarified is very important. Just because I own the business doesn't mean I don't want to take orders. And when you're given an order and you're in the lead, we have to respect that, because that means you're working for that client at that point, and I'm supplementing what you're saying.
Right.
So that's what that client's preferring, whether it's one that I bring about, one that you've been creating on your own lately, or back when you did 3 years ago.
Right. And I just feel, when it comes to work, because as most of our Omeros family knows, I took a break for a little bit, but I like to call it my college hiatus. I like to think, aside from me needing to change, but also me needing to learn more, I didn't know what I didn't know, and I needed to go sit around some people I didn't know. I needed to go be around strangers that I called coworkers for a little bit to learn, why does an eighth of an inch matter? Without just saying, oh, it just matters. I needed to have a reasoning, clear and cohesive reasoning for why an eighth of an inch matters.
Yeah. And if few people take into account, I mean, some of our competitors are very skilled at measuring, but the eighth of an inch is a finite detail that is the smallest measurement adjusted, as you're explaining to our viewers, that could be adjusted by the factory.
Yeah. I was talking to Joe actually before we started this about how you a year and a half ago the way we did a fitting earlier today, we wouldn't have bounced ideas off each other.
Today, when that client was in there, we were doing the fitting together. When I was down measuring the bottoms to make the cuff and add the heel stays, you were already viewing the top and had the ideas of that small adjustment, 3/8 of an inch on the collar, and just sloping the arms back. That was one thing I missed because I was so focused with my 39-year-old carpal tunnel trying to put that pin in. But at that point, you already noticed a measurement that a posture change that we had to make a slight adjustment in will without me even knowing. That's something you didn't have in 2020.
I didn't.
You had a lot more than a lot then. When I was at your age, I knew one thing how to do, and that was take instructions from my father. And with all the respect, Pop, you'd be ever would be there a better salesperson in the world. And thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Sell them in bunches like bananas, Pops.
Gosh, you ain't lying. But I lost my train of thought here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So basically, that what you did today on that fitting was something that took me 15, 20 years to create, and it was just not even a year and a half hiatus. That's how much you matured in the skill of the sartorial arts.
But see, I didn't even tell you what I was doing the whole time. So aside from working where I was working, I'd get off of work and I'd go sit in a tailor shop from 5 to midnight. I'd sit and not ask a single question, but watch a tailor do his job. Every day after work, Monday through Friday. And then I'd go home. Saturdays and Sundays I call them study days. I have 4 or 5 books about measuring, about bespoke tailoring, and I read them. I sit and I learn what I don't know. I've learned so many things right now. I probably forgot what I've learned in the past year, just because I try to remember so much.
Well, that's just the courage in the art of wanting to learn more, wanting to be a perfectionist. And ultimately, it might take forever, and you might be working in your 80s. But like we've always said, look at Ralph Lauren. I mean, when you care about it, you take care of your family. But the next most important thing is the passion of life, and only few people in the world can apply that to their work or business.
And how hold on. I have to give a shout out to Ralph Lauren. I don't know if anybody has seen what he's done recently. He took a safari type outfit, meaning a safari jacket and safari pant, and put it with a black tie ensemble. I will show you gentlemen after we get off air. It is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen a designer come up with, because it puts the casualness and luxury of high-end vacations with black tie.
And something sounding like that. I didn't see the outfit you're describing, but Ralph Lauren would never do anything that's tacky without that subtle sophistication while making that hybrid.
It's beautiful.
But why Ralph Lauren is so much respected. One is a public company. One, he's extremely charitable, but he still has those conference calls once or twice a month with all his executives, all his employees. He's there. He still shows up.
He's in every meeting.
Yeah.
No matter what the meeting is, whether it be what's the budget this week or what are we doing for our spring summer fashion show. Every meeting.
And the lowest employee on the totem pole is encouraged. If they want to send him a note, he will respond. And that's
and I just had to give a shout out to that, because I just
Purple Label.
Purple Label. I believe it was.
A few things that how about that outfit you picked out for me the other day? The few things that I wear that aren't the products we sell. What was that tie you picked out?
It was a Brioni tie.
No, it was the cashmere Purple Label, Ralph Lauren.
It was so.
Yeah.
The other day, I usually pick out what most of us at Omeros wear, because why not? Matt had on this pair of burgundy pants, this beautiful Wish 170s wool and cashmere Glencheck sport coat, a powder blue shirt that almost looked white, and a knit cashmere tie with a subtle, let's call it a mosaic pattern into it.
And it had a square bottom. I don't know exactly what that's called. Very retro, but it was pure cashmere. And it just had, in the wind, it just popped open. You could see that Purple Label.
It gave it Ivy League meets Wall Street kind of vibe.
I just got the chills.
Which you see, which that's kind of how when we design.
So maybe
looks,
you should tell our viewers, like the inception of the fashion show that became a ritual. Like you picked surprising us and me, especially with the outfits. So since he was on his college learning hiatus, now since he's been back, when we work together, before we go on the road to see clients, I go upstairs and I have a new outfit in my own wardrobe that I
every time
never knew existed. It's like a kid in a candy store.
That's the best part about the Sartorial world.
But let's suppose when the crazy responsibility of the children, you have the sports for those things. Sometimes I'll wear the right gray slacks, just a simple patterned white shirt, a vest, just something I don't have to think about. And I besides what I do for my clients, I lost that touch that you do for myself and all of our clients.
And it's the yin and the yang we have, because usually don't think that everything I pick, every client always picks. A lot of times I get shut down because I'll pick a bold orange instead of a conservative navy blue. Sometimes it happens, and that's where having Matt in the same appointment comes in handy, because the client might want a conservative suit but a bold tie.
And guess what? Lately, especially since you've been back, that switchover is so cohesive. A non-verbal cue is all it takes, and the switch is made. Whether I take the front or I go back and write the notes, sitting on a chair, listening to you in front of the client. So it's just there's nothing ego about it. It's all about who?
The client.
Thank you.
The client. I don't think not many companies, regardless of what service you're in, focus on clientele happiness.
Because without them, we couldn't have the Sartorial Lounge. We couldn't have the term dress passionately. We couldn't go after our dreams without
what we do. Because
serving them.
We enjoy being pretty, and we enjoy having fun while being pretty and serving our clients.
We shouldn't lie about it. It's fun to do it as a sociological experiment.
It is.
Go to a place in normal casual wear. I'm not saying casual hybrids aren't wrong. But just put on a navy blue blazer, a tucked in white dress shirt with a pair of whether custom jeans or modern jeans, and a loafer.
Perception is different.
But just as a sociological experiment, go to a place you've never been by yourself and just see the vibe, the difference of attention and the outgoingness for people to, say hello, want to serve a cocktail.
But it's, you know what? Joe bust my chops about this all the time. How much I talk about it like I don't own jeans. It's not because
I forgot about that.
It's not because I don't like it. Well, aside from I don't like it, but also just
I remember that now.
I could buy a pair of jeans for $20, but have to go spend $300 or so on alterations. Where I've always just thought, get my 7 or 8 measurements taken, get a pair of pants made that I'll have for 20 years.
May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Some of those fabrics that we owned recently, you had this idea today to take those denim fabrics and do what with them?
Create dress jeans.
In a custom-made manner.
Because
whose idea was that?
I have to take responsibility for it. It was mine.
We got basically a list. Like the list keeps adding.
And that's something that we're starting to podcast. We haven't told you yet. Sorry, but you're gonna learn now. Joe and I are gonna start a magazine. Tyler, we didn't tell you. You're gonna start writing daily articles.
Tyler.
So we want to bring what we do to the forefront for everybody. And a part of that is with the magazine, with the podcast, we want to start creating lines, actual lines. So creating a rung of jeans and a rung of shirts for our spring summer season. Something we're gonna start doing.
Yeah.
Because we're not a big stock. We love the exclusivity of what we do, but sometimes having an on hand stock piece.
And some of those famous the Hugo, those other whether Italy or France, some they kind of implemented that same idea. So by us, what you said, having our own slant on it, that we could learn from them, they could learn from us. It's just all sharing ideas for to dress passionately. To your favorite line, it's more than a lifestyle. Which the Sartorial Lounge, the art of dressing. Sartorial.
You see the art of dress. That
I mean, Walt Whitman said the easiest, but there's more than one sentence,
To describe anything.
Yeah.
And I think,
Great.
with what we do and with how hard we work every day to try to prove what we do is the best, I believe starting these new avenues of business, because this is an old school business where you go to the client's house, they pick a fabric, you measure them, we go home. But there's so much more in between that nobody sees.
What did Joe and Tyler say? This year's just different.
They told. Matter of fact, I gotta give Tyler props now.
Tyler,
Because he told me to now I want to start talking about this now. Why we do stitching the way we do it.
oh yes, give us the idea.
Because one thing we haven't done, which is what we're about to introduce now, is the Flyest garment of the week.
What?
Flyest garment of the week, baby.
I love it.
So the one we're doing for this week is we made a suit for a guy, and it's a black suit. Ironically, for the Flyest garment of the week, it's a black suit. But the reason we picked it is because the devil is in the details. From the ridiculous handwork that was done with this to the precise measurements that Matt and I took making this client his beautiful suit for his wedding, it gives a black suit a life that not many people think a black suit had.
Are you the fabric was that shadow stripe too, and then it had all this. Okay.
We pick stitch every seam in a gunmetal gray, and then we put a smoky gray mother of pearl button on it to complement it. Now, to most people, a black suit is you wear at funerals and those extremely conservative gentlemen who decide to wear it. But in our world, we believe with the right shirt, with the right tie, with the right shade of shoe, a black suit can become just as versatile as a navy suit. Which
I love the surprise, but not to mention I'm gonna expand on the surprise you just gave me. We got 3 extra yards of that fabric saved exclusive for him, and whether he wants to make it a tuxedo, because he's not at the age where he's going to formal events. But we got the grosgrain, we got the satin, and the extra fabric if we wanted to turn it into a tuxedo.
I mean, it's just simply converted a black tux into a tuxedo.
Go back and forth and back and forth like an elevator. You pay the toll, you pay the ticket, merry-go around and around. Okay. Good job. Let's keep serious.
You know what?
Let's continue.
Now I gotta ask you a question. What made you consider me to work it?
Well, originally when how my father gave you that interview, or let's call it a day internship, because you called every custom clothing around, and he's like, yeah, I'll take you on for a day. How's tomorrow sound? Be
really what
here at 8 a.m. Thanks, Pops. But so as you expanded and finished high school, it was coming to the point where you were 21 or so, or we were 21 in 20 post-COVID in 2020.
21.
You were 21. And we were just about to come out legally from Monroe County because we weren't an essential business, and we sounded like we had some demand come up, or at least I was hearing that from my clients. And I'm like, you know what? I need to hire somebody. And my dad was like, you got to meet Sekou. You got to make Sekou. You know what? And my dad and I have argued on a few things, but I just felt that this is one of the things that he will always overrule me on. I'm like, I called him that next morning. You came over the next day for an interview. And I'm like, okay, if it's everything you're saying, let me think about it, and we'll meet again a week from today. That was Thursday. Friday night, I was at a kid's party with some family. You got a text about Saturday. Hey, Matt, I might have these clients tomorrow. I know you said the final interview is going to be a week from now. But that was the night after the first interview. You set up for the following Saturday, and you set it up. And I was going out, like you said, getting the cases while you're working. That was 4 suits, 2 shirts, an overcoat. And by the way, before you became an official contract through a payroll and a contract, that day in the driveway, I Venmo'd you my great appreciation, because that was, a sale at the time for me that came, once a month. So that's, That was the first weekend we were allowed to be open legally from COVID.
We don't talk about it enough. That was my first ever high-end custom clothing sale.
I mean, it was like,
And just to give the people a insider scoop of what it was above $10,000. Now, on top of that, that doesn't. Ask Matt, ask Wally. 10 grand on your first order, extremely rare, if not ever happens at all.
it took me. I joined my dad in 07, so it took me 4 years to get that level in order.
And that's not me being arrogant. That's just to show.
That's what it was. That was the first setup meeting. I was there to validate it, and that's and that first time working together, it's like we're doing it for years. I know you took that break, but you came back, you matured in a way, and while you took that break, you in a few short weeks have helped bring our business back up to a level that it hasn't been to ever. But
thank you. The fun part about listen, man.
Thank you.
I tell you every day I get here, I enjoy what we do, and I'm spoiled to be a part of it.
Certain days, if I want to stay up late and watch some movies, you come in, you got first leg. You help my daughter brush her teeth because it's like a war for me. But then we go drop her off, and we do that together. We come back, the car's packed, all our client suits, the alterations are done. Anything new or shown, it's just it was set up the night before, or you got there 3 hours before school time, or me even woke up
to make it happen.
Whatever it takes.
I truly believe, leaving, coming back, taking time to understand. And as I told your dad when we first got that first Saturday we worked together, I told your dad, I was like, I'm sorry, I understand why. I understand how much work it takes. I understand why my appreciation for this is through the roof now. I understand.
Sorry.
What? No, seriously.
No, because you didn't have a company email at the time. But you came over that Monday morning and you were sitting by my side reading back all the measurements we put together and helping put in all the orders. We double and triple checked every detail. And, thank you for that customer who's still a good friend, client of ours.
Which we're going to see Wednesday.
And there might be some teasy teases that we can't do for some showy shows coming up.
You never know. But I just, what we do here is special. And the way we do it is unrivaled, I like to think. I don't think many people can or will have a passion for this like we do. And I don't think it can be duplicated.
And I like how bold you are. I'm a little bit more conservative. It took you, and I'm still not able to have my own confidence to say, no, we are that good. But I still think it's a priority. Each and every time we have to prove it. Even if an existing client worked for 10 years, one little slip up, one little ego trip where we don't triple check that one detail, and it's not. Sometimes not even the ego thing. Sometimes we're humans. We just miss it, and we could bring this back an hour later. That was our mistake. Own up to it, and
that's one of the one things that I from the get-go you met me. I have a ridiculous ego, and I feel like if you tell me to do something and give me a goal to do it, I feel like I'm the best at it.
You've been proving it, but it's ego could be trouble. I prefer to say you have confidence because you feel like you're born to do this.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't feel like anybody else.
It could be confident, but the ego is. There's been others in the business that had that ego, and when they show it and talk to their clients with ego, guess where those clients are being served by?
You and I. Bingo. So I last
got the chills again.
Last thoughts, Matt. Last thoughts. Going forward, this is 001 of the podcast, so we plan to get better. Tell me what you want to see out of this, because Joe and I and Tyler, we've just been rolling with this with our own heads. We haven't asked your opinion or anything.
I am just open to all the ideas you guys have been bringing. This was your idea, but I just like this communication. I was never a good public speaker. just speech issues growing up, but this is helping me. It's like holding. I had an arachnophobia. It's like holding a spider or being afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
The one time 4 years ago at my cousin Kelly's kid birthday party, they brought a tarantula. It was like a petting zoo, and I'm like afraid of spiders. She's like, actually, I've had her for 30 years. She's a female. As long as you don't make any movements, she'll stay in your hand. And I faced my fears, and they went away. So I want not only to show and share the passion, the sartorial lounge, the way you describe it, the art to dress sartorial.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to continue to get better speaking for our clients, for my partners, for all my employees and partners, Joe, Tyler, my dad, and everybody. It's just like Joe and Tyler said, this year's just different, but that doesn't mean that we can't learn every single day and try to become better.
I think that's I think that's sums up what we do here. And even on top of it, we didn't tell the people. We went going to our tailor today. Our tailor sat us down for 30 minutes and taught us something that after leaving his house, Matt and I were smiling ear to ear. And I think that it shows and explains how much we love it, because every day we learn something and do something new that just makes this more worthwhile.
I mean, we got trademarks for our measuring service, but that was learned from tailors like that. But that doesn't. We learned together something new today that was outside the box, but it became fitting a unique build client, that something just wasn't exactly the way we like to deliver it, and
right.
We learned how to do that together from our tailor in person. And we were in a rush. We pushed back a meeting or two just to stay there and learn that special thing that only somebody that's 89-year-old, that's born in Italy, that's still
the one thing I told you when I came with you is I want an old school Italian tailor. I want my tailor 40, 50, 60 years older than me. I just want to sit there.
Well, the Turkish tailors are very good. Their generation younger, very skilled, but it's just, one thing about my own culture, being Italian, is, you go to Italy, the more north you go, they're very egotistical. They're sometimes not open to Americans speaking Italian badly, like I had to learn in college. But you get to know them and just listen to them, and you take a little bit of heat, they'll share the world with you and show you the right way to eat, the right way how to measure, the right way how to live, and especially passion from love, cars, clothes,
food.
6 ingredients. That's all. Look at any package, even organic packaged things that American manufacture still have some elements of synthetic would be the word. Italy, they use 4 or 5 ingredients: tomatoes, sea salt, a little basil, and Parmesan Reggiano. Each 2 years in a certain part of Italy. 2 years. You know how it's different because you smell. It's got that nutty flavor to it. How do we get off topic again? See, we're just passionate about everything.
We're talking about Italy. That's what happens, man.
My gosh. And then when we go back, tell them about when we're going back in 2024. We're going to go see all our mills and vendors.
We have a trip planned for the entire Omeros family to Crew. We got Joe doing vlogs. We got Tyler coming along. Matt and I are going to be doing the podcast live and vlogs at the same time. We just plan to show everybody what the behind the scenes of what we do is. And Jesus, man, is that not going to be a fun trip to go on?
Yeah, well, keep in mind, it's going to be 8 days, but by the time you get there to the airport and go to north in Biella, Italy, then to Milan, then you get a day and a half of a little leisure, then you're down to Naples. It's non-stop. And I wish one day I could, have the opportunity where you guys all could together go on the work trip, and I could actually go visit Sicily or just be on the beach and turn off my phone for a little bit, and walk.
You know that time's coming.
Walk through Bonasola through the mountains into the Cinque Terre, the 5 towns.
Oh, well, you know that time's coming, man. But I think for 001 episode of the Lounge, we've got a bunch more content coming, a bunch more things that we want you guys to know, we want you guys to see. Please like, comment, subscribe, give us your feedback. My Instagram is the Sartorial Don. My Facebook is Sekou McAdams. You can find us all at Omeros Custom Ltd. From all of us here at the Sartorial Lounge. Arrivederci.
Yeah. Ci vediamo. Without you, we'd be nothing. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.